Hello and welcome back to the Mind Renovation Nation show, brought to you by Red Maples, your go-to source for institutional style property management of small multifamily real estate. I'm your host, Nathan Bush. In each show, I share with you lessons I've learned from growing my real estate business in real life. In today's episode, we're talking about the 4 types of real estate investors. There are really only 4 types of real estate investors who invest in real estate. And on today's show, we're going to break them down for you to help you better understand the 4 different types of real estate investors. All right, we've designed this show to answer questions you have about picking the way you want to invest in real estate and your different options based upon your needs and comfort level. When it comes to investing, there's a number of different things that are important, and your needs and comfort level are important. However, if you want more of these types of resources regularly, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel or head over to www.nathanbushmba.com/subscribe, or check out the other resources and the links in the show description. And if you guys have any questions at all today, I encourage you to go ahead and submit them online. If I don't answer them during the show, I will definitely get back to you and DM you directly. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube show. I can't say this strongly enough. Head over to YouTube. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell to get the notifications of when future episodes of Mind Renovation Nation are up. You don't want to miss important investors or different announcements that we have going on at Red Maples. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to go over to YouTube and make sure you subscribe to the show. I definitely want to make sure that I thank my major sponsor for the show. That is Red Maples. That is the company, guys, that is blowing up in St. Louis, Missouri right now as far as property management goes. It's been the fastest growth organization I've ever worked for, ever been a part of. And I can't say thank you enough to the entire team and the group of people that we work with at Red Maples. And you guys, the audience, you have been tremendously supportive, sending in your referrals and people who are interested and need help reviewing their portfolio. So if you would like a portfolio review of your rental properties, whether they're single family or small multifamily, scan the QR code on the screen or head over to red-maples.com/assessment. And you can get your assessment started today. All right, guys, I want to talk about for 1 second this movie, Dead Reckoning, that's come out with Tom Cruise, at least the first one. And in the first Dead Reckoning, Ethan Hunt, the character Tom Cruise plays, has this to say. He says, no matter how isolated you are and no matter your circumstances, everybody needs a community. And if you don't have one, create one. The quality of our lives is in direct reflection of our relationships with others. And it's no different in real estate investing. We have got to have supportive relationships if we're going to grow our real estate investing understanding, knowledge, wisdom. We got to be around other people who understand the same things that we're interested in. By the way, this Dead Reckoning Part 1 with Tom Cruise, the character takes on seemingly impossible challenges with skills and strategies in order to help him achieve specific goals. Much like real estate investing, success often requires choosing the right role and playing to your strengths and overcoming obstacles to achieve your mission. Dead Reckoning. Why did I choose Dead Reckoning for today? I want you to understand this concept of dead reckoning. Dead reckoning is a navigation technique. So sailors, that they use this to estimate their position. You can use this to estimate a moving object using its last known location and information about its velocity or its distance traveled. This concept of dead reckoning is often used where there's no visible landmarks or stars for guidance. Dead reckoning. Understanding how far you've traveled based upon where you're at and the velocity in your last known location. Isn't this so important when we talk about the concepts when it comes to real estate investing and understanding what type of investment we want to invest in? Everybody's situation is different. We all start at different starting spots. We don't always know what the finish line is going to look like exactly. And so it's so important that we measure our dead reckoning from where we're starting to where we're trying to get to. Don't miss the opportunity to grow your real estate investments today by understanding the concepts that I'm about to share with you. Question for the audience. If you're watching online, go ahead and throw the information or your answer in the poll here. Quick question for you. What is the approximate total market capitalization of the U.S., the real estate investment trusts? So what is the approximate total market capitalization of the U.S. real estate investment trust? What do you think it was by the end of 2023, according to the National Association of Real Estate Investment Trusts? Do you think it was 500 billion? Do you think it was a trillion, 1.5 trillion, or 2 trillion? Go ahead and put your answer online. What do you think the approximate total market capitalization of the U.S. real estate investment trusts were at the end of 2023? Is it 500 billion, 1 trillion, 1.5 trillion, or 2 trillion? What do you guys think? Go ahead and put that online. I'll share with you the answer. Here it is. 1.5 trillion. 1.5 trillion was the approximate total market capitalization rate of the U.S. real estate investment trusts at the end of 2023. Why is it important? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about real estate investment trust today. It is a huge market, and there's a lot of opportunity there if that's what you decide to do, and that's the way you decide to invest. All right. So maybe you're overwhelmed right now by the different ways to invest in real estate and don't know where to start. That's okay. Today's show is going to help you. Understanding the primary types for real estate investors will simplify your decision-making process and then help you identify where your strengths lie so you can actually take action today. So this will be huge and major, not minor, when it comes to real estate investing. The other thing is you might be feeling a little worried about the risks involved in real estate investing and losing your hard-earned money. Well, obviously, disclaimer and disclosure, every single piece of investment comes with risk. However, by aligning yourself with the right types of investors' mindset, you can mitigate some of these risks and secure a more stable, secure investment for yourself. So we can offset a lot of risks if we just have an understanding of where we're at, and we use this concept of dead reckoning in order to know whether we're getting increases or improvements, because there's a lot of different variables associated with real estate investing and whether it's going to work for you or not. So let's talk about the 4 types of real estate investing. There are only 4 ways that I have found that people invest in real estate. The first way is through a real estate investment trust, a real estate investors trust. We're going to talk a little bit about what that is today, but through a REIT. REIT investors are real estate investors just like anybody else. They're going to utilize a REIT to invest in real estate. That's where they're going to place their hard-earned dollars in order to get their returns. There's also the syndication. The syndication investment is a very valuable option. It's a valuable option for anybody looking to invest in real estate. When you don't want to do the management or don't want to have to build a business, but you still want to be a real estate investor, syndications are an okay way to go. That's exactly what you should be doing, depending on your own lifestyle. We'll talk a little bit about a syndication. The psychopath investor. We're going to talk about the psychopath investor versus the business owner investor and why these two things are different and people invest different ways. So there's 4 different ways to invest in real estate. That's it. The REIT, the syndication, the psychopath, and the business owner. Let's talk a little bit about the REIT. What is the REIT? The REIT invests in a real estate investment trust. It benefits from diversification and liquidity, and it typically has a more passive role, focusing on steady income through dividends. You can utilize a REIT through your stockbroker, guys, the guy that manages your investments, your 401k, or that manages your IRA. Any type of investment advisor should be able to talk to you about different REIT options that they have for you and how that fits into your financial portfolio. REIT investors are great for people who are busy executives or people who want to diversify into real estate, but without having any aspect of the what do they call that? The liability of business ownership. If you just want to have an invest, get a return from real estate, one of the best ways to do that is through a REIT. You're going to do that through your stockbroker. All right. The second way that you can invest in real estate is the syndication investor. The syndication investor is a little different. See, what a syndication is a pool of funds where other investors invest in these larger properties. So you ever wonder how they buy these large apartment deals, how they're buying up, a 200 or 500 unit or 1,000 unit apartment community? Well, they do that typically through a program called a syndication. This is where those investors are pooling their money together in order to be able to purchase that larger asset. Through a syndication, the investor often plays a semi-active role in conducting due diligence and selecting your syndicators. So when you're going to invest in a syndication, it is important for you to do some due diligence and some of your own research. You're not relying on a financial advisor to do this for you at the point. You're going through and analyzing different syndication opportunities that are brought to you, and you're making a decision on whether you feel that you're going to get gains from investing in with other investors on that transaction. And you get to benefit from other professional management and larger scale investment opportunities where the risk is a little bit mitigated from the size and the volume of the asset that everybody's investing in. And so again, if you're a active employee and you don't want to try to build a business and you're looking for a way to get returns on real estate, syndication might be a great route for you. You can typically find syndicators in real estate communities in your area. In St. Louis, I know there's a number of different great syndicators that work right out of St. Louis here. And I highly encourage you to go check out some of the different meetup groups and tour groups for real estate investors in St. Louis if you're looking for a syndicator. All right. And with that said, I want to take a second and thank my second sponsor of the show today, Web Insurance. Let Web Insurance be your guide. Head over to www.webinsurance.com. They can review your current coverages and make sure that you have the most appropriate coverages at the most affordable prices. And what their clients love about them is that every year they proactively shop your insurances to ensure you're truly with the most affordable carrier and the most appropriate coverages. From contractor to real estate investor, let Web Insurance be your guide. If you need insurance for any reason at all, head over to www.webinsurance.com and get a quote. What does it hurt to get you a quote? And check out if they have competitive prices or not. It doesn't, so go check them out. Highly recommend Web Insurance. All right. So we've talked about a couple of different types of investors on the show today. We've talked about the concept of the REIT. And we've talked about the concept of the syndicator. Now, there is this whole concept of the psychopath investor. And I would be remiss if I didn't take a second today and tell you guys about the psychopath investor. Who is the psychopath investor? Well, the psychopath investor is this person. They take on multiple roles such as the buyer, the renovator, the landlord, and the seller. They're doing it all, guys. This psychopath has no time for their family, no time for their friends. They're highly hands-on and involved in every aspect of their investment. They don't deviate from allowing anybody to help them, and they rely on a high tolerance of risk and stress management to control all aspects of their investor. The psychopath. Guys, out of all four types of investors, I'm going to tell you they're all okay to be. However, the psychopath investor, from my understanding, is the absolute most difficult type of investor to be because you have nobody to help you. You're doing everything on your own. Now, you get to control everything to how tight the screw goes into the drywall when you're repairing that drywall, or you get to ensure that you don't miss a room that was sprayed if you spray for bugs inside your house that you're treating and taking care of to make sure that the tenant that you're going to move in there or the homeowner that you're going to move into after that, that you didn't miss one single spray or spot because you did it yourself, right? What's the old adage? If it's meant to be, it's up to me. If it's worth doing, do it yourself. I don't know that I subscribe to that philosophy, but there are people that do, and this is the right avenue. So I do have to talk about the psychopath investor. And then you have the last type of investor. So you have a REIT investor, a syndication investor, you have a psychopath investor, and then we have this concept of the business owner investor. The business owner investor. The business owner investor is a very smart investor, in my opinion, because they focus on building a team to handle different aspects of their process. So by building a team, you automatically are able to disassociate yourself from the work. See, I think the psychopath investor, the reason I was a little bit hard on that is because real estate is supposed to be able to generate you passive returns. But if you're going to receive active income from your real estate investment, then you have to do all of the work on the real estate investment. So if you just become a business owner from the very beginning and go into your real estate endeavor, that you're not going to do all the work, that you're going to set this business up so that it can be passive and you can receive minimal amounts of invested time so that you can receive maximum amount of output and return, that would be fantastic for you. The business owner investor, they play a strategic role leveraging the expertise of their team members versus doing everything themselves. And they aim to scale their investments efficiently by delegating tasks and creating systems. So, business owner relies on a team of people to help them achieve their income goals. And they're part of the process of establishing different tasks and systems in order to achieve the goal that they are trying to achieve. 4 types of real estate investors, guys. It's a simple concept, but it helps you understand what type of investor do you want to be. If you're watching online right now, what type of investor do you want to be? Do you want to be a REIT investor? Does that work best for you? Is that the type of investments that we should be talking about on this show? Should I bring people who are financial advisors to talk about the different REIT options that are available out there onto the show? Would that be helpful? How about syndication investor? Are you a syndication investor? Would you like to be able to invest passively in syndications, allow somebody else to manage the asset while you get the benefits and the appreciation of the real estate asset? Or the psychopath investor? Should I be bringing on more psychopath investors to be able to help share with you information in order to help you achieve your goals of doing it all yourself? Do you want more people who do it all themselves and how they figured out how to do that? Or would you like the business owner investors on the show, guys? Should I bring on more business owner investors and let them talk to you guys about how they built their business and scaled their systems to achieve their financial goals? What would be most helpful? Put that in the comments, and I'll be happy to go back through those comments after the show and focus on what's going to help you and the audience most. I know a lot of you guys that watch the show on replay, so don't be afraid on replay to go ahead and type in those comments. Which one, 1, 2, 3, or 4, would you like to have more of on my show? Hopefully that would be able to provide tremendous amounts of value because there's only 4 different types of investors you could be. And with that said, if you're the psychopath investor, this company here that's on the screen might be the most helpful to you, which is BBC Global Services. They're outsourcing that helps people like you focus on your superpower, simple and on your terms with no term limits. Get a free consultation with no obligations. Go to bbcglobalservices.com and learn all about virtual assistants. Their team there at BBC Global Services is incredible, and they absolutely will be able to help navigate your business and your situation around your systems and processes. We use BBC Global Services at Red Maples. They have been fantastic and helpful. We've got great team members that have come from BBC Global Services, and so I highly encourage you to check them out. Go to bbcglobalservices.com. All right. So which one do you choose? How do you determine which one of these real estate investors types are right for you? I don't think the show would be complete unless we talked about this concept of how do you choose which one. So you've got to do some work here. You got to assess your strengths and your preferences and determine if you prefer more of a hands-on approach or more of a passive investment. See, a REIT is the most passive investment with the least amount of controls. A syndication is a little bit more passive. There is some work that you have to do, but you have a little bit more control of what your investment's going in. You have the psychopath. You have a lot of control, but it's not a passive investment at all. And then you got the business owner, which I think is a good blend. Personally, that's my opinion. I think is a good blend of control and also passivity. So you got to determine what you want to do. The second is you got to evaluate your risk tolerance and decide how much risk you're comfortable taking on. Then you're going to consider your resources. Take stock of your available capital, time, and expertise. This is really important. Step 3 on how you choose which one of these investor types you want to be is significantly important. How much capital, how much time, and how much expertise do you have? If you have an overabundance of capital and 0 time at all, maybe a REIT's a perfect real estate investment for you. Maybe you have a limited time and a lot of capital. Maybe a syndication route's good for you. You can get a good return on your money with very limited time invested. Maybe if you have limited capital but a whole lot of time, maybe the psychopath investor is the right first step for you in order to be able to do all of the stuff yourself to get the returns that you're looking for so that you can get your capital set aside. But if you have a little bit of capital and a little bit of time, but not great expertise, you might consider the business owner investor, in which case you're going to hire people to help you hit your goals. Then step 4 is going to be define those goals. So once you've determined what kind of real estate investor type you want to be, you got to clarify your long-term objectives in real estate investing, such as is it income generation, capital appreciation, or portfolio diversification? What are you trying to accomplish? What is the goal? Once you have that goal defined, you've considered your resources, you've evaluated your risks, and you know what your strengths are, now you can make a decision on what type of investor you want to be. So let me ask you, what type of investor do you want to be? Take a second and throw it in the comments, guys. What do you think would be the best appropriate real estate investor type for you? Are you a REIT investor? Are you a syndication investor? Are you a psychopath investor or a business owner investor? You tell me, put it in the comments. All right, guys. Success is not the key to happiness. I know we all think that success is going to lead to happiness, but it doesn't. According to Albert Schweitzer, happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you will be successful. So important when we're talking about the 4 different types of real estate investors. If you love what you're doing, you'll be successful. Depending on the type of investor you want to be will ultimately determine if you're happy or not. Are you loving what you're doing? If you don't love it, then you shouldn't be doing it anymore. I've met a lot of different people who were once the psychopath investor who were just unhappy doing it. They were burnt out, overworked. And so that's why I've been a bit hard on the psychopath investor today, because it's a lot to do that much actively. And I know some people that have tried to do real estate as a side hustle as a psychopath investor. That really leads to burnout and relational issues and all kinds of other things that can happen in your life. So really consider what type of real estate investor you want to be. By picking the right real estate investor type from the beginning, you can be happy knowing that you're investing in real estate and happy knowing that you're doing it from what you love versus doing it for success. And that, guys, should help you significantly in your journey of real estate investing. I'd also be remiss if I didn't take a second to plug my book again. If you want to know how to achieve rapid strategic growth in your business, so you're a business owner and you're looking to achieve rapid strategic growth, head over to Amazon and go get my book, The Caesar Method. I'd be happy to sign it for you if you're here local in St. Louis. You just let me know, and next time we're together or maybe one of the local meetup groups, I'll sign the book for you. But it will help you achieve rapid strategic growth. This is my 6-step process of learning how to connect, ask, educate, set intention, align interests with others, and generate referrals. And so this is the way that all businesses rapidly grow. And if you'd like to learn how to do that, head over to Amazon. If you don't like the book option and you're like, I'm not a reader, Nathan, but I could still use some help on my journey, go to linktr.ee/Nathan Bush MBA. I'll put it in the show notes. If you check out in the show notes, just go to my link tree, schedule an appointment. So it's linktr.ee/Nathan Bush MBA. Go there, find my schedule on there. It's the very top link on my link tree. Schedule an appointment with me. I'll be happy to walk you step by step through that Caesar method in one full meeting. No questions asked, no charges, no nothing, just to help you out with your rapid strategic growth. And that, Renovation Nation, brings us to the end of another episode. I'm Nathan Bush, your guide on this journey of real estate business growth. And remember, just like plants need the right air, soil, and care, our minds need the right environment to build a life of purpose, passion, and growth. Don't forget to get your citizenship to Mind Renovation Nation. Follow us and subscribe to my email list. Hit subscribe on YouTube and stay updated with our latest episodes. And if you love today's mind workout, guys, share it with a friend, one who's as passionate as you are about real estate business growth. And they can join us every Friday at noon. And join me next time for a little more insights and inspiration, and of course, a little bit of that nation building spirit that drives us to create a community united by shared values, purpose, and a commitment to leaving a lasting legacy. Until then, keep building, keep growing, and let's lead more than 25,000 souls to a life of values-based investing. In our journey of Mind Renovation Nation, we often talk about personal growth, ethical leadership, and making impactful choices. Well, values-based investing is an extension of that philosophy. It's about being a steward not only of our finances, but of our values and vision for the future. Signing off from the heart of St. Louis, guys. Stay blessed, stay inspired, and remember, every day is a chance to renovate your nation.